Hello and welcome to the Cash News Podcast, your go-to source for informative conversations about all things cash and currency. From cash security and payments technology to the cash supply chain, we're here to share insights on the issues shaping the world of cash today. Join your hosts, Tom Meehan, Sean Ferrari, and Brad Moody as they dive into the latest trends, strategies, and technology. This is the Cash News Podcast. Now, here's Tom, Sean, and Brad.
We're live in D.C.
We are. Great to be here. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you, my friend.
Absolutely.
It's hard to get in person these days. So where we're at, we're in Washington D.C. We're at the beautiful JW Marriott at Currency Research Banknote Conference.
Yep.
It's always good to be back here. I am in and out today, so I got to come in last night for a little bit, and then we have some other activities. We're gonna be at the Payments Choice Roundtable, which is a different event in DC. It happens to be across the street, so it worked out really well. What's been going on so far at the show?
So I tell you, walking around the lobbies and in intermissions, it's like being in an international airport, all the different languages. So when you look at what Sean's been able to kind of attract to come here and learn about the different currencies, it's really impressive, the audience that comes here. A lot of big banks. So, but I tell you, the thing that I've been really just amazed about is the currency itself and how the currency is actually evolving, and how a lot of countries have given they're fed to the similar to the Fed survey and the Siena survey. They're actually having very similar results, which is interesting. So when you look at some of the countries that reverted back to a less cashless area, you're seeing them actually come back, and they're coming back in force. And some of the currency that's out there it's actually art. It's beautiful, and it's hard to understand from sitting here stateside how our notes look fairly similar over the past couple decades, right? I mean, they're putting motion in some of the security features. It's really, really interesting, and it's impressive.
Yeah, and I think it probably, at least for me, if I back up 10 years ago until the first time I came to banknote, really the amount of work that goes into not just the counterfeiting, but the materials and the printing and the longevity of bills. Like, when you think about it, right? Like, you're using this bill over and over again. And I think it was when I was in Mexico City, maybe 3 years ago at this conference, it really dawned on me when there was a gentleman presenting, and I just saw the bill walking, so it reminded me of like the amount of time that went into the art.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like, and very, very elaborate. And then in another country, it was, this was a founder of our country, and the amount of heritage that was in not the printing process, but the development of it. And then also, being in the US, we're used to our notes, but then, some of the more polymer or notes that last a lot longer, more plastic blend. And you mentioned the motion feature. Like, I was just walking down at one of the tables, and I saw a light, like, where there was a light feature that shined through.
The absolute black one over here.
Yeah, it was
Holy
wild.
Cow.
Yeah. And so it's funny, right? We've done this podcast live probably maybe 15 times, maybe 20 at this point, and never fails. Someone will always walk in front of the camera.
Every time.
Normally we call it out, but because I didn't know him, like, Sean will always go like, "Hey, do you want to join?" But I didn't know who that was. So I think it's funny. As a matter of fact, when we were in Orlando, prior to you joining us, a lady stood in front of the camera for like a few minutes, and then was like, "Oh my God," before the camera. And we're like, "Come into the podcast.
You might as well sit down, right?"
We got you. So sorry. The light piece. So the note piece is interesting. I also would say that we had the pleasure of talking to Jay last night.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably actually ask him to come on a podcast, but
absolutely.
Really the importance of cash. And it leads me to today, I wish I could make this up, but I'm staying in DC. Across the way is a Wawa. I go to Wawa to buy something, and the machine doesn't accept cash. Now, mind you, this is a really interesting one. I was going to pay with my card, but a prompt came up, and I couldn't figure it out.
The self-checkout?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. And then the person next to me was trying to pay with cash and asking for help. So like it resonates all the time. And I wish I could have had someone taping it, because you would have saw what really happens. And like, this is like the dynamic of someone who was next to me that I don't want to assume was unbanked, but was like like I need help. I'm trying to buy this. And then me trying to buy my energy drink like I do every day and going like, all right, I don't care if you accept cash. I just want to pay for it. But I've got to now press buttons to just get you to take the card. So, I think it goes back to what I always say is, I always talk about risk and national security, but just convenience and choice. Like when you go to buy something, this just happened to me. It was a kind of a bad experience.
Right. And then, that's relevant. It's pretty relevant for the cash surveys that have come out there, is that people don't necessarily want to use cash, but they want the option to use cash. Right. Yeah, and that's the over 85%. And that number's been fairly consistent through all of the surveys. So that's it's important.
Choice is important. I think I don't think I've ever experienced something today is that because it didn't accept cash, it us down.
Right.
Because I had to put yes. And, I am visually impaired. So in fairness, I didn't know what it was. I just saw in big letters, card only, but I had to go, okay, that's fine. So I'm sitting there and I did it twice. And luckily someone looked over my shoulder and said, no, you need to click this in order to pay. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, like that is, it couldn't help more like what we're talking about. Like it just happens all the time. So it's a very interesting one.
Yeah, no.
In a metro city, like in a pretty densely populated, very diverse environment. There was a way to pay cash. Like, so in fairness, they had I think, relatively easy option, but I think it was an interesting dynamic. Yeah. So, where are you going to be next?
For conferences, I'll be SCTA board meeting, which I'm excited to go to beginning of June. I've got some client visits coming up, so glad to go out there and visit our clients. But from a conference perspective, I'm done for a little bit, I believe.
That's good.
I think you've got something coming up next week, don't you? Or 2 weeks?
2 weeks is NRF Protect, which is a really big retail show, and then there's a couple small, more meeting type events that I'll be doing. I think there's I think next week or the week after, I'm in Nashville at a delivery conference, talk about asset tracking, and then NRF Protect for Control Tech is a big show. Yeah. So looking forward to that, and then we'll get a little bit of a break. In theory, like July and August, everybody gets to enjoy a little bit of the summer, and then we pick right back up.
Yeah.
We've got quite a bit. I think we've got 6 or 7 events, in the fall that we'll attend, which is exciting. Yeah. And there will be my favorite banking event, which is in Miami this year, which is Currency Research is American Cash Cycle, and that's where we get to see everybody we know. Yeah. It's a great one. It's a big conference.
It's a great town and a great time of year for it too.
Yeah, right in November you get to go to Miami. So for those of us up north, and you know what, I would say in D.C. today and yesterday the weather's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Right. I know you live around here, but
it's interesting. I haven't come to the city in city proper in a couple months, and it's just a great city. It really is. It's probably one of them. I'd say I've traveled around, been to over 60 countries. It's probably, I put it in top 5. I mean, it really is top 5 in the world. So
I think the last time I was here was with you, and we weren't in DC proper. So I haven't been. I don't think I've actually been to a conference in DC since the last Banknote was here. 3 or 4 years ago. I come to DC quite often, but it's usually very quick in and out. So weather's good and everything's going really well. So I think for all the listeners, thanks for listening. We're probably going to wrap it up. It's always good to get together.
Absolutely.
And if you're interested in joining us, we're not hard to find.
No, people know us. We're famous.
I don't know how famous you are.
Too.
He's famous now, but we'll see.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the Cash News Podcast. We hope you found this episode insightful. Don't forget to like and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter, and be sure to visit us at thecashnews.com to stay up to date with the latest on the world of cash. Thanks again for listening to the Cash News Podcast.